Hey, how are we doing, guys? Hopefully you guys are all well out there. Today's video, I wanted to go over some of my lists, I guess, my opinions and my take on the top 10 non-GL teams in the game right now, especially after some of those big boy changes just kind of hit us not too long ago. And this was kind of brought up from a recent video of Cubs, and I haven't seen his video. I just saw that he did a top 10 list without me even looking at it. I'm going to do my own list based off of a top 10 because I did last year do some of these same ones. I haven't done one in a while, so I thought I might as well kind of do those, especially after the new changes. So here we go. We're going to actually go over some of my old list and just see what the old list looked like. So the number one for my old list was Vader. Vader, it wasn't even like a full team because Vader was, you could change in and out the fourth and the fifth, right? But Vader was number one because he could kill GLs. So that was him. Number two was JKR and JKL. That one, again, was for killing GLs. The third one was See Less. Could maybe kill some GLs if they were modded properly, but most times, if not, they were still able to kill every single thing else and get some nice, easy wins without having to worry too much about it. Fourth one was Gas 501st. Fifth one was Darth Revan. Sixth one was Troopers. Seventh was Bounty Hunters. Eighth was Padme. Ninth was Grievous. And 10th was JTR with some of the bros. So seeing all this kind of is like, whoa, right? I think this list was in terms of all things. And I'm going to kind of go into all things, but more into like GAC kind of top 10 list for today. But it's just crazy to see how high up, JKR, Jedi, and even Vader was. So it's crazy. And how low on the list Darth Revan and Gas was. So here we go. This is my new list. Don't look at the top. Okay, don't look at the top ones. Let's start at the bottom. Look who's at the bottom right now for my list. Vader. Vader and the Empire, guys. Man, he can't kill GLs anymore. He is totally out of the picture for that. So where do you use him anyways? Or nowadays, rather. And it's really just for killing some of those maybe Geo teams, maybe some Mon Mothma, maybe some other top line teams. I don't even know. Grievous, maybe, perhaps. Not much, guys, not much. Padme, I probably wouldn't even trust against a Padme. And that's something that I would have in the past. But now I probably wouldn't even trust that against Padme. So Vader went heavily down in my list. Very, very much so. Because, yeah, you can win against some teams, most teams, but, like, GL's out of the picture. I wouldn't trust this versus some other teams. So he's definitely down my list. Kind of sad, right? But, it is what it is. I'm not sure what else to say about Vader. He's just not as good as he used to be. So that's him. Next up, I would say, is my Bounty Hunters. So these ones are kind of around the same as Troopers, but Troopers are a bit higher in my list. I honestly don't think this is my right listing because they're just all over the place, like they overlap almost. But I'm going to have the Bounty Hunters as my 9th just because not only they're good for offenses, but you can, remod them for defense, and they can be all right as well. But mainly for their offense capabilities. So I know I have Bosk lead, but if you want to kill some Darth Revans, I would say having Jango lead is the way to go because you need that extra speed from the leadership. But I would say offensively, they are amazing in GAC. You can kill some Night Sisters. You can kill some Darth Revan teams, perhaps. Like, there's still a lot you can counter. Even some Beskar Mando stuff. So they're still great. I love them a lot. They might even be higher in my list than what they are right now. So number 8 is going to be... So right now on my list, I have 2 different Jedi teams. 2 of them that are different. This is my first one, which is JKL lead with some other Jedi. And I'm not going to say these are the best 5 teams or 5 characters to use in this team, right? But with what I have, they are what I just kind of threw in, right? So JKL, in terms of leadership-wise and other supporting cast, I think he is number 8 because he has good uses. Still on offense, even though he doesn't hit as hard, he's still pretty good, right? But also for defense, I think he's going to be a bit more annoying on defense side of things, especially if you have a really fast character like a Shock T or Hermit Yoda that can go off really fast. Same with Old Ben that gets turn meter. So I think he's still good. Not as good as he was before, but still a great one to have in GAC, just not as powerful as he used to be. His repulse on his son is still super awesome. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I still love using him in the leadership slot. So that's him. Next up is our 7th one in this list, which is Troopers. So Troopers can't really kill the Emperor anymore, but they can still handle some Darth Revans. They could kill some other pretty strong, powerful teams as well. They are just really nice to have in GAC for the easy banner wins. I don't have Dark Trooper, but if you did have Dark Trooper, I would definitely slot him in under the Veer's lead because he is so good. I want to say they can maybe still kill a GL or two, but I don't know quite yet because I haven't done that much testing, and even then, you have to have really high relics on your guys, especially Dark. But I would say right now they're 7th on my list for offense, getting some nice easy banners without having to really worry about modding or, you know, having to worry about the opponent's modding or whatever it is, you know. But they're great still. I love them a lot. So they're 7. Number 6 is going to be Padme. Again, Padme's always kind of been pretty much the same as I do these lists. I don't think she changes much because offense, defense, going to get you either nice, easy wins on offense or maybe can throw off some banners on defense because that's just what she does. She's so consistent in what she does in this game for Grand Arena that it's just always a no-brainer to have her on a top 10 list. It's nice, though. I know we're not talking about, you know, GLs, but you can, you know, toss in and out some guys for, you know, Master Kenobi teams, Commander Ahsoka's as well. But I would say something like this is more standard for people who don't have GL Kenobi. You can either use R2 or Shock T or 3PO in that 5th slot, but I would say the main 4 are the other ones right here. Padme's great for offense, easy, nice wins, and defense, she's just pretty annoying as always, right? So Padme is right here, next up on my list. Next up above Padme, what is that? What is this, 5? I want to say this is 5th, is Grievous. Grievous, honestly, might be higher than what he is right now. I think I might even have Grievous be one step higher, but for now, he is right here, sandwiching between him, or between Padme and Revan. But, guys, Grievous, especially now, I guess this is mainly to do with the Watt changes, because Watt now sucks with his weapon tech, but we're going to be now using Watt in with the Separatists and the Grievous with droids because of how much synergy he really has. I mean, he's always been built for Grievous, but I feel like now, since it changes, he is going to be the main 5th for this team. This team can kill JMLs. I think maybe depending on some of the Emperors, they can kill some Emperors, but not as reliant, I would say. But outside of the GL counters, I think this is such a strong defense team right now in the game if you have them modded properly. These guys are still monstrosities on the defense if you have them, like I said, modded properly, right turn orders, all that sort of stuff. But also on the offense, they can kill CLSs, some Night Sisters, Padme's probably. You just got to really mod them the right way, and you can do so much with them. So they're going to be here. I want to say this is number 5 on my list, so pretty simple. Offense, defense, very good stuff too. And also, you get some nice recovery with B1 and also with the weapon tech, or the tank tech rather, with Watt Tambor. Next up, we got a pretty standard Revan team, but I leave this open to change because you can really slot in and out, you know, a GMY or a Bastilla or a Jolie for other guys because the Jedi faction is just so huge right now. You could have either your JKL in there, you could have Shock T, you could have a Cam, so much, guys. So this guy's good because if you have, and you know, you mix and match some different guys, you can have a JK or JKL to still kill a Kylo. You could have even a Gas in here, killing some different Darth Revans, mirror matches, Grievouses, Padmes. They still can kill the exact same stuff as before. They haven't changed much. So I think Revan has still been a great one to have. He did fall a little bit, but I think it's for the best because, you know, he is just so versatile still in the game. He's amazing to have. So I think that's number 4 is the Jedi with Revan. Maybe that's number 3, actually. That's number 3. Number 2, we're going to say the first one. You can't see it. Number 2 is going to be Darth Revan. So this is mainly to do with the changes to Vader, because Vader was like the go-to counter outside the GLs. Vader was like the go-to counter to kill Darth Revans, but now Vader's Clothing Blade hits like a wet noodle. We're going to be tossing Darth Revan higher up on my list because he's always been good for offense, right? And getting some nice, easy wins. But for defense now, if you have a very fast modded Darth Revan, these guys are such a pain in the butt for defense for your opponent. because you're either going to be talking about a JKR counter, maybe even a Padme counter, but usually those are kept for different teams that you want to counter. So now we're talking about either a bounty hunter or like a GL or something to that extent that's a bit more cost effective, and it's just not as easy to like pull them away. You're going to be kind of hurting yourself more than helping yourself if you're using some of those counters. But like I said, the bounty hunter counter can work, but only if you outspeed them. And if you're having a very fast modded Darth Revan, that's not going to happen. So pretty much these are like a go-to front wall defense and GAC team because they're just so much more strong now based off these current changes. And if you want to toss in Moff Gideon actually as well, that is a great one to use. People like to use gas teams against this. That's still an option. But if you have your guys modded very fast, like the Moff Gideon outspeeds a Rex possibly, guys, that demoralized is going to hurt so much while your Darth Revan does fears and your BSF does the same thing and Malik taunts. That's a very hard team to get around if they have a Moff Gideon there. So even gas struggles as well. So this is a nice little top of the line defense team that's a non-GL. I think that is very, very worth mentioning still in the game. So that's number 2. That's number 3 rather. I forgot about CLS. CLS is number 2. I don't even know my own list. I just made it barely because I thought this was a good indication of where everything is right now. So number 2 is CLS and Rebels. So pretty self-explanatory. Again, CLS can get recovery from banners from the guard. They can get so much TMR, so much damage output, counterattacks, which makes them, just based off the counterattacks alone, great for defense, great for offense. And they can counter so much stuff in the game. Darth Revans, Gases, mirror matches, JKRs, Padmes, Grievouses. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on of what they can counter. So they're so great for that. To counter GLs, though, I don't want to say they can at the moment. They're not as reliable. I wouldn't even rely on them at all whatsoever. But they can counter pretty much every other team in the game without having any issues. So powerhouse of a team. Offense, always, I would say for now, because of the changes. Before change, I would say defense possibly, but offense now, always and forever. That's pretty much CLS, guys. I'm not going to go into that much more. And then here we go. Number 1. Number 1 is going to be the GAS 501st because of the change to General Skywalker. I mean, he gains so much more protection, guys. So much more. And guess what? He can kill Rays. You can kill some Rays with this team. It's just crazy to see what they can do now. GAS not only, is harder to take down and have him sit down, but he wakes up even faster. And meanwhile, Rex, Arc, Echo 5s, they just kind of pop off. More Terminator from Rex's cleanse. And, having him have more speed on his unique. They just go so much more. And he's always in his stance to take the hits and to dish out the hits. So even though he might have lost some damage, he is still making up for the defense part. So he's great. For offense, I would rather probably right now keep him for offense because CLS still smashes him on defense. But there are some times where you can maybe sneak him on defense to get a nice little hold or so. But I would say for now, Gas is great wherever you want to use him. He is so strong. I love the change to Gas. That's all I got to say. Counter some Rays, kill some Rays, and he's great for really everything else. Because looking at everybody else in this list, if you're using Gas on offense, they can counter CLS, they can counter Darth Revans, they can counter JKRs, Grievouses, Padmes, every single team here. They can counter. Gas is all powerful, just like CLS, but I would say Gas is a bit higher than CLS right now. So, that is my list for today. The 10 teams, let's just say this for GAC, because I've been talking a lot about GAC today. So, top 10 GAC-oriented teams. Yeah. That's it. I guess if you want to look at some more that could be up here for like honorable mentions, maybe the 11th or 12th spot, I would say JTR is right there, right below our Darth Vader teams. Traya, right there as well. Same with Mon Mothma. Beskar Mando, not as high as I would like to say. Not a fan of Beskar Mando. I would say actually Night Sisters are higher on my list than Beskar Mando right now. But I would say definitely JTR is right there. Traya and the Night Sisters and Mon Mothma, they're all right there. But I would say the top 10 are what I just went over for today. That's about it, guys. If you guys would change anything in my list or add some, let me know. But that's my list. Pretty, self-explanatory, I would like to think. But that's it. If you guys have any other ideas for videos you'd like me to cover about the game, Conquest starting today, or I guess yesterday. This is a day in the past. I can do some more videos on Conquest, but that's about it. Have a great day out there, guys. And until next time, I will see you all there. Peace out, and have a good one. See you guys.